let's play Gran Turismo 2, episode 93? Yeah, 93. We are now at Mazda, and of course, I have already completed my first event, which is the RX-7 meeting. And now, it's time for us to head down to our second event, to what is probably what I can consider being one of Mazda's finest creations, which is non-rotary, and is still very much in production to this very day, as many petrol heads would know. So, next up is the MX-5 trophy, and of course, if you may remember in the previous segment, I bought myself a Mazda AZ1 with a Mazda MX-5S special for just those two events, and now I'm switching over to the MX-5. And officially, it is now time for us to return to East City and get on with this event. After I of course have done my engine tuning. I think that's probably about all I need, at least for the first race, methinks. And so, let's head over there to the MX-5 trophy we go. Hopefully we can win the first race. Or hopefully it will not take me too many tries to win the first race. And oh, okay, we're going to Apricot Hill for our first race. Well, at least I know I don't have to race at the same old circuits constantly. And the reason why I didn't do the sport tyres or the weight reduction is effectively because, well, I don't think I'll need that for the first race, in my honest opinion. But I suppose we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And almost over revving it there, but somehow I think I'll probably be okay, at least for the first one. As I am already up into third, and so BTW, we are at the reverse course of Apricot Hill, and at the moment I am currently standing in third. I would have said the start was fairly reasonable, but looking for an opening, and on the inside I go. I am now up into the second position under the Dunlop tyre bridge, and I'm now pretty much 4.5 tenths behind. And on the inside I go, as the line is wide open, and I'm now up into the lead for the first time in the first race of the MX-5 trophy. And now it looks like I may be able to hold on to this one, if I am fortunate. And looks like I'm more or less en route to the W as I cross the stripe, and I now start my second and final lap here at Apricot Hill Reverse, and they're still shuffling for the positions there, and at the moment it looks like if I can just fend off from these other MX-5 Miatas, then I should be able to secure the victory. But we'll just wait and see. Yes. It looks like from here it could very much be en route to victory as long as I just keep the car straight and I do not suddenly fucking bottle it in these final sequence of corners. Or in these final corners, I should say, as we're getting through the hairpin now. And more or less holding on to the position. And it looks like from here it will probably be relatively easy W and do the face. And won by just over 3/4 of a second over the V Special MX-5. Then it was the 1.6 in third, followed by the original MX-5 in fourth. It was 89 here it was produced. Then it was the VS model in fifth, and then it was my fellow S Special that was in last by just over 1.25 seconds. As the gap from first to second, just about 3/4 of a second. And another $3 for winning, and now we can move on to the racing mods. And of course I've already seen what the racing mod looks like, so effectively I shall not have any problems. And just because I want to, I'm going to put on the sport tyres just in case. And also I'm now going to do all 3 stages of weight reduction. So for the racing mod, well, I'm pretty much torn between 2 colours here. And well, even though I could get this thing in white if I really wanted to, I can also get it in green as well. And well, since obviously I dare to be different, I'm gonna get this thing in green. And as for the rims, well, I'm gonna leave them as they are, because I actually like those rims and I don't see any point in changing those. So, is this thing a turbo? Oh, it is a turbo. And I'm gonna get the stage 1 turbo just in case, and it does not come with an intercooler. And well, the truth is with me, I am wanting to give the racing modded race a shot without the turbo, at least for my first attempt, and then dependent on knowing how far off I am in terms of pace, and oh okay, we're going to super speedway, then I may consider putting it back on, but I'm just gonna challenge myself a bit more and just maybe see what we can do with this car without needing a turbo. Hopefully I can challenge myself a little bit more. Which is effectively what, you know, I'm aiming for. Well, everything at the moment more or less going the way I was expecting it to, and also furthermore, it is actually nice to know that for a racing modded race I'm actually at Super Speedway, which is cool, because I rarely ever end up racing at Super Speedway for a racing modded race, and at the moment I'm more or less doing what I was expecting myself to do, and I was off the white line. And somehow, in spite of me not using the turbo, I have already taken the lead. Somehow. So it looks like this one will probably be yet another clean sweep. Unless I attack the wall, and well, since I know these bankings aren't steep, I would imagine that's probably not going to be the case. Even though I am trying to cover off the inside, and that's essentially what I'm doing, but anyways. Around the final corner I go, and it is a relatively easy victory in the end. Probably because it's at Super Speedway. But anyways. Also, furthermore, all of the S special models have officially locked out the podium. Then in fourth it was just the normal MX-5, followed by the BS model in fifth, and then at the back it was the 1.6. So effectively overall, the older MX-5s beat the newer MX-5s, as the gap from first to second, just about 6¼ tenths, and gap from first to sixth, just over a second. And that was easy. Certainly easier than I thought it was going to be. Also, my prediction was correct in knowing that if the AI were going to be using the same model as the MX-5i was, that obviously they would very much be racing in white, so effectively overall I made the correct decision to be different. Because obviously I will not just be another one of those clones that is racing in white, because I chose to race in green. And, oh okay, I can actually fit this replay in. Oh, that's cool. Well, I suppose it's probably because of how short the track is, but, you know, that's actually not a bad thing. To know, of course, that until now I had not raced at Super Speedway for a racing modded event. And so there we go. 2 events are down, and 2 events remain, as we are now officially halfway through Mazda. And next up is the Demio race. So, in terms of our progress, we are now just about 84% complete. I am still, of course, at the maximum number of cars I can have, and well, that's obviously because some of the cars I won from previous events, obviously. And, of course, my win ratio very much within 85%. More or less where I want myself to be, but anyways. That was the MX-5 trophy. Next up is the Demio race. And so from there onwards, stay tuned for more Gran Turismo 2.